Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, it's Mike at TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Coachman Adrenaline 31 FET travel trailer toy hauler. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, besides your slides, of course, leave plenty of room for them to come in and out. I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Yours are going to be just above your tire on your off campsite or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Power there, city water connection for campsites right there. Once you arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing you're going to do is level our unit. Your unit is powered with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply retract the lower, extend the raise. Now, if for some reason you lose power, under this rubber stopper, your hand crank for your stabilizing jacks will get that up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. Make sure you got your unit level. Next thing you do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these 3/4 inch hand crank stabilizing jacks. 3/4 inch socket on the end. You can use a drill gun or an impact driver. I just recommend when you get to the bottom that you slow down. Because remember, our unit's already level. All we're trying to do is stabilize it now. These come down pretty quick by hand. I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Protect your feet from sinking into the ground. Good investment with your 10% off coupon. Put them down, run these down just until you've got some resistance from your hand crank. Remember, again, our unit's level. We just want to stabilize it. Get all four of those down. Unit's level and stable. We can hook up our power and water. Again, your big long 50 amp cord plugs in here on the side. You can get amperage reducers to bring you from 50 down to 30 to plug in on the end of these. A lot of campsites are set at 30. Where yours goes in, turns to the right, and then lock on with this black washer. There's your power. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, you're going to hook up to city water connection. I recommend a water pressure regulator. A water pressure regulator is going to protect the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located just to the left of the entry doorway. You know what we're doing at this point, folks, is make sure our drain plug's back in. So because they've prefabbed this for draining, that is your open position. Push it back for close. So you're going to want to make sure this is in the closed position. Once that's in the closed position, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now, after that hose has been on for a little while, go inside and deploy your slide if you need to. I need you to go inside and open up all your water taps and get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Once the water's going through them, then you know that your hot water heater's full and you can turn that on from indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping or boondocking. In that case, we're just going to fill up our fresh water tank. Two ways to tell when this is full. Just fill it with a hose, gravity fill it. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside. Where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that fresh water. Once that's full, you'll remove that hose, put this cap back on, And then when you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That is already pressurized. All right, we're all set up to camp with power and water. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit, continuing over here by this docking station on the off-camp side. These are access to the back of your fridge for techs. Here's where you plug in your cable, power, again, freshwater tank. Down below here are going to be our freshwater drains. Let's see where them are at. Right there they are. Low point drains. Here's our tank flush. Talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. Your city water connection again. A spray port to hook a hose up. Back here is going to be your sewer connection. That's where we'll dump our black and gray tanks at. There's our handles for that. Here's our fueling station. Fuel up in there. There's where your handle will go. And here's your on and off switch for that. Your deck, we'll bring that down here shortly and run you through that. A couple of outdoor speakers on the back. Prepped for a backup camera up there. Coming down our campsite. Your outdoor kitchen. Pretty much just set up for a TV. And you've got a fridge here. Cable 110, TV mount there. That is a vent for your microwave. A couple outdoor speakers here. It's a flue for your furnace. Two things on that. Make sure nothing's ever blocking it. And if you're running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. Again, a couple of 110s. Your hot water heater. Coming up front here to your pass-through storage area. Or not pass-through, but your storage area. They also have a prefab storage up in here. That you'll release these buttons with two hands and pull this all the way forward. Got some wheel chocks in there. Here's your battery disconnect. That will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come in important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. Propane does come with a regulator. Lefty loosey to open. Green means it's got gas. There's your cover for that. Spare tires up underneath there as well. And then over here is your generator. We'll start that from inside here shortly. And that covers everything out here. Underneath your slide would be your fresh water drain. Let's go take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up beside the unit. First thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone who's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway. Immediately up to our left is our slide control, our lighting, and our awning. On your awning, I just want to say that when you run these out, only run it out until your flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see your bar. If you're not paying attention, these will continue to run themselves out and pass the point and start to run themselves up backwards. Quite a big awning. I hope I run out of awning before I run out of wall. Yeah, it's a little wet right now, so I gotta run it back. If that ever happens to you, just run it backwards. There you go, as far as you want to run that. Got your LED lighting out here. So just keep an eye on it when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. Alright, with our awning in, slam locks work best when gently slammed. Coming into the unit, you got a self-explanatory microwave. Down with that is a control panel. So this when you touch test, it'll show work on your tanks right now. So gray tank's got a little bit, black tank's empty, freshwater's empty, and brand new battery over here. The freshwater one is one I said you want to watch when you're filling up your freshwater tank to tell when that's full. Over here is where you turn on your water pump. Then you got a hood light and hood fan. Before we go down to that range hood, Over to my right, another monitor to check your black tanks. Down here is where you turn on your hot water heater if hooked to gas, your hot water heater if hooked to electric. Does make a difference. And then over here, you'll press down that to prime that. Once you see that light come on, hit start. Let's head on out. And there's your own and current. Now note, you do have to have battery hooked up in order for this to start. And just give this a pull. You can turn it on and off from out here. Same thing starting out here. Press this until you see the prime light come on and then press start. That simply presses back in. And there's your oil for that. Let's go back in and continue from there. Alright, continuing on here. Got our pantry. Our bunks, there is a ladder up here to get up to your top bunk. And these actually remove. Top and bottom. You can get in there a little easier. So storage down there, some netting to hold that in. Come back into our bathroom real quick. Some lighting here. Max air vent hand control. Show you that working real quick. You just hit fan on, that will open and turn on your fan. You can change the levels of your fan and open and close your hood. If you just hit fan off, it will close and shut it off. You also got 110 with GFCI reset in here. Little plumbing to maintain. Access panel here. But it's mostly PEX nowadays. Keep an eye on your plumbing. Make sure that hasn't wiggled loose over time. And then most importantly, your shower doors, when you're traveling, make sure those are snapped closed. Come back out of your bathroom. Here's our no cold fridge. Gas fridge, so just keep an eye if that starts flashing. If it's solid red, you gotta check your gas. Down below that is your access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Ton of 15s in there. A few 20s, 25s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Then down here is going to be our 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volt, always running off your battery. So if you're out boondocking, dry camping, nothing plugged in charges your battery and you're going to be gone for the whole day, use your battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down. Coming into our living room here, you got a 110 there. Your dinette, of course, you know these tables will lift off here. Set down on these lips, put your back cushions on top, gives you another sleeping quarters. Coming around here to our TV. I'll turn that on here real quick. Got a big bass speaker down here. Jensen sound system, which we'll get to in a moment. Alright, TV working, shut that off. To the right of that is going to be our remote for your sound system. Turn that on down here. Hear that playing? Audio menu. Let's see our bands. So 3 FMs, 2 AMs, Bluetooth compatible, auxiliary jack right there, coaxial, optical, HDMI, back to FM. TV off. Not much talk about in your bedroom. You got bedding, still brand new in the package. You have a hand crank open exhaust vent there. Your nice little scenery. What a cool idea. You're prepped for a TV in here if you want to cover this up. There's your cable and 110 for that. You have some storage under your bed if you come over to this side. Drawers for that. Going back over to the other side. Sorry. That's all your thermostat here. We're going to turn that on. Crank your air up. Get down as low as I can get it. Get your AC to come on. There that goes. Now you notice when I shut your AC off, those generally shut off rather quickly. I'm going to turn your heat on. Remember on your heat, just to make sure that your gas is on for your furnace. Hear that kick on over there underneath your oven. I'm going to shut that off. You'll notice it's going to take a few minutes for the fan to cycle through before that actually shuts off. Alright, that about covers everything up here. Let's go ahead and check out your garage. Coming out into our garage. Right now we're set up with our bunk down. We got our ladder on it. We got our seating set up. A couple things on our seating. Roll this forward. Bring down your leg. This is how you're going to set up for a bunk. Same thing over here. Roll this forward, put your leg down. Now you got your sleeping quarters. Now let's say we want to take this up and leave the top bunk up and bring just our seating down. Show you how to do that. Come over here to bed control lift. We're just going to press up. That's going to bring this up. Get this up a little bit here. I'm going to show you a few things on this seating. You're going to want to get up underneath here and straighten out your legs. Fold them back up underneath. I'm going to run this all the way to the top. You'll see that it'll catch here. And lift the unit up. Top bunk lifts up. Now I come up underneath here and pull my legs in under. Just push in our silver button here, and we'll fold up. Go ahead and continue to lift this up. So now once our top bunk is up, we're just going to lock it in are some cotter pins. Once your bunk's up, if you look and go all the way around, there's a hole right here. All four corners. You'll take this cotter pin, push it through that hole. And now, we'll put all four of them around, and then we'll bring our top bunk down. The top bunk, well, we can bring our seats down, top bunk will stay. One moment. Alright, now we've got them cotter pins in. We'll bring our bed down, our seating, and it will come down by itself. Don't pull those cotter pins out until you lift this back up there. One more thing to show you on this seating. This is a safety latch that keeps this from rolling forward. When you want to roll these backwards, pull out on the safety latch, then this will roll the way you want it to roll. You can also remove this cotter pin, lift the whole thing up against the wall, and this whole thing will fold down. So it'll give you another way that you can set these seats up. I'm going to go ahead and take that all the way back up to the top. While that's going out, also want to mention, got your own AC out here. Go ahead and take your control panel on that, crank that air up. Your thermostat here. Oh, that's going back up. There's that going. Better shut that off. Down below that is some lighting. Your television. Cable 110 hookup for that. A couple pillows up there and some accent lighting. You got your outdoor speakers out here, or your garage speakers. It's all set up for a DVD player. Got an extra table out here as well. Fire extinguisher in the corner. This is your emergency exit window. Pop both them out. That'll whole window will pop out. You've also got covers for your windows so you can hide your toys. A deck doorway. It locks. And that about covers everything out here in the garage. So take a look at your deck. Alright, we're going to go ahead and open up your deck. It says stand clear of heavy door. However, these springs here, these help these come down pretty easy. One guy can do it. I'm going to do it with one hand. Bring it down, kind of walk it down. So your cables here are going to catch it. Let me show you real quickly how to set the deck up here. Alright, so let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I have to come to my control panel, shut off my main lights, because then I can walk around the unit and see any individual accent lighting that I need to walk through and shut off. Got my garage all closed up. Got everything secured back there. Now shut off everything that is accent except for what I can control here. At this point, I'm going to say doors and drawers. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in, especially this one, because that slide could catch on it. Tuck your TV back into safe position and hit glide in. The slide comes in rather quickly. Once it slides in, I'm going to show you the importance of having that drawer and your TV tucked away. Shut that off and exit the unit. If you're out boondocking, gonna come all the way to the other side over here and dump this freshwater drain. If you're at a campsite, unhook your cable, your water, your power, bring up your stabilizing jacks, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be behind your tires, on your off-camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Get up underneath there, hook your hose up, and the first handle you're going to pull is that black one hooked up to the hose. Alright, first thing we're going to do is pull this black handle here. That's going to be your sewage water. Once it sounds like that's empty, hop inside and check your panel and make sure it is empty. When it is, leave that black handle open. Grab your hose at the dump station. And come on up here to this tank flush. Hook that hose up here. Let that run for a good 5 minutes. That's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that water and washout that you just put in there has drained. Once it's drained, push that black handle, pull this far left gray handle. Now this will be sinks and showers. It's going to clean your sewage hose out for you. Same thing with this one. Once that one's empty, pull your extra gray over here. When that one's done, take that sewage hose, store it in a nice sanitary place. Come on up here to your low point drains. dump both of those. And if you're done camping for the season, we would dump our hot water heater. If you don't want to just open up the bottom, first thing you want to do is lift up on that pressure release valve before opening up your bottom. Again, if you're done for the season, lift up on this pressure release valve. Be careful, there will be hot water coming out of there. When that's done, push this handle back down, otherwise this door won't close. Then you can close that drain plug. And head on home. Again, thank you so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Adrenaline for many years to come. Happy camping.